Let's talk spiritual psychosis. I'm sitting here today battling all this anxiety. It's like subtle and deep. This anxiety about other people's opinions, about this pressure to plan all my life and figure everything out right now and be productive on my day off from work. Sitting here with all this bustle inside of me, inside of my nervous system. And I just took a moment, just laid down, and just looked at the clouds. Listening to the birds. The contrast of nature and the society that has been created, especially these colonial constructs, the ones that have stripped us from the presence and desire to just look at the sky, to just connect to the energy of the sun and to sync ourselves up to that. We have been completely dysregulated from our natural selves. That's why I want to talk about spiritual psychosis, because I think this is something that really triggers that. For the people that are becoming aware of what is, becoming aware of the world around us, which is nature. Yeah, we like to create a lot of things as humans, but all of this was here. All of this was here before we were. You just came here 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago, or 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I don't know. You came here those many years ago in this body that you're in right now. Waking up to the reality of this is throwing people into this psychosis, but otherwise I would say into this type of trance or this type of deep confusion about what all of this is. The thing that we are seeing is that there are two sides. There are two sides. I think people that have been so programmed by the colonial mindsets and programs and the brainwashing, quite truly brainwashing, people that have been living in it for decades and have been submitting to it for decades without thinking or tending to their own needs, physically, emotionally, mentally. A lot of those people get triggered by just laying down, looking at the sky. It's like they get triggered by it because they feel like they're not being productive. They feel like they're not doing anything. Of course, when there's a space to regulate, and by that I mean coming back to nature, and sometimes we see in these systems we see the clouds and the trees and the plants and the earth as separate from ourselves. But our bodies are literally made of the same components. Our bodies are literally created after the same pattern. Light, air, solids and liquids. That goes beyond to your whole body. Light, air. And your stomach processes liquids and solids. Just as light, air, liquids and solids, earth. It's perplexing. It's quite perplexing. So that's just to lay it out. Simply. But to the mind, to the conditioned mind, in this present day, it can be very, very, very hard to come to terms with all of this, to see it, and to be pulled in so many directions, to be specifically pulled in 2 directions. The thing that we don't realize, or that people don't want to accept, is the fact that in order to regulate ourselves, we are going to have to dysregulate ourselves. And yes, I mean by laying down on the ground and looking at the sky, syncing your body, your natural pace, your breath up to the sky, the sounds of the birds. It invites us to slow down. There is no error in slowing down. Once we slow down, we can take action, each action being very impactful and very powerful, very efficient and intentional as we come to understand what we want to create here. I think that this is the key. If you're going through a type of psychosis, a spiritual psychosis, or an awakening, come back to your nature as a human in this current form. You are made of the minerals of the earth. You are made of water, liquids. You are made of light. Because we are in these human bodies, because we are in these physical forms, we are limited by these physical forms. But we also have been limited based off of our programming and our constructs. There's so much the body can do, and so many abilities that the body has. Like divine, deep, powerful abilities. We have been stripped of this normalcy. So come back to what you are. Come back to what you're made of. You are a spirit on a journey. You are. So you must not forget that. Don't go a day without experiencing your life as I am a spirit on a journey. You're gonna die. This body's gonna die, but your spirit is gonna continue. It is gonna continue. There's so much more to this reality than all this physical bustle, this material blabber. Ding, 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 my car, my job, my house, ding, 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 this TV show. Like, come on, y'all. There's a lot more happening. Not everybody's awakened to these facts. Not everybody has eyes to see, you know? So, one of the biggest struggles in moving through a spiritual psychosis is that you have this more whole understanding, and you are watching everyone around you, or maybe many around you, that are just slaves to the physical world, losing their energy, killing their bodies, destroying their well-being and their health, just by trying to survive, and not all. Just by trying to survive. It's quite heartbreaking. And I think that's originally the inspiration to talk about spiritual psychosis that brought me here on this video, because it's a very heartbreaking experience. It can be a very confusing experience, especially when you feel so pulled by so many different people or entities or constructs and organizations. It can be very, 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 like, torturous. Truly. It really can be. Not everybody, like I said, not everybody's going to understand this. But if you understand what I'm talking about, you know. And yeah, again, come back to what you're made of. Breathe. Take time to consciously and intentionally breathe. Fill your body, your lungs with oxygen. Let out the carbon dioxide. It's
combustion. You breathe in oxygen, it combusts, and it turns into carbon dioxide. That's why you can't just hold that breath forever, because it turns toxic in your lungs. You have to let it out. Let all of it out. Fill those lungs up. The more oxygen you begin to have in your lungs, the more oxygen you get to your brain and your blood, your digestive system, your nervous system, everything. Allow yourself to function properly. Eat good food. When I say that, I mean something that grew out of the earth, that hasn't been tampered with. Educate yourself on the most nutrient-dense foods. Create a diet that revolves around those things. Listen to your body. Lay down on the earth. Lay down on the earth. Sit under the sun sometimes. Daily if you can. If you have the sun rays to shine on you daily. Just take some time. Charge up. Remember that the darkness is a part of it. The darkness is a part of it. The more we can look at it, allow it to be there in front of us, accept it, take note, shift, the less scary it will be. The more you have experienced, the more you've faced, the less that it has on you, okay? Be strong. Be strong. Practice personal maintenance, spiritual maintenance, energetic maintenance. Cleanse your energy. Reset. Reset. We're going into something big, so yeah, if you have any questions for me about any of this or any advice that you would like to inquire of me, I would love to share more, share my perspectives. I know this is a hard time, and I know a lot of people are going through a difficult time, especially in these realms of psychosis type experiences. They're intense. They can be very, 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 very freaking intense. So continue to have compassion with yourself. If you're not having compassion with yourself, please have some compassion with yourself. It's a balance. It's a balance. Remember, your success is found in your actions. You can transform your life through action. The physical reality is a manifestation of something higher. So all of this that's happening in the physical that is perplexing and terrifying is indication of something higher. It is indication of a war, my people. Okay, so we have to be ready to fight. Simply. Anyway, many blessings. May this message find you when it needs to find you, in the space, the time that it needs to find you. Sending much love, many blessings. Big up. Take care. I'll talk to you next time.